Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 Episode 4 is out. It's titled A Space Adventure Hour, and it was essentially a 60s murder mystery themed episode. Effectively what it was is a holodeck episode of Star Trek, which of course we didn't really know was a thing before The Next Generation, but this was a prototype version of the holodeck which the Enterprise crew are tasked with testing. Now, the issue I had with this from the get-go was it's not all of the characters in the holodeck as their characters being other characters in the simulation, if that makes sense. So all of the cast, as you can see, are new characters in the show, but none of them, for example, Anson Mount, who looks fantastic, is not Christopher Pike as a character in the simulation. He's just a character in the simulation. So I cared a lot less about a lot of what was going on in this episode, if that makes sense. La'an was the only character in the simulation on the holodeck that actually knew what was going on. So, yeah, that made it a bit less interesting to me. I did switch off a little bit. However, because the fact the holodeck was a prototype, it meant it was drawing in a lot of power on the Enterprise itself. Again, still in prototype stage. So the bridge crew, who again were not involved in this at all, it was just La'an, are facing quite real danger when they realize that the holodeck is taking too much of the ship's power, and then La'an realizes that the simulation cannot end, and she can actually get hurt and even die within this simulation. The only way to get out of it is to solve the murder. Now, I'm not going to spoil everything in this review because there's quite a nice little twist within the episode itself. But yeah, overall, as far as a holodeck episode goes, it's quite a nice twist on one. But it always feels a little bit like a filler episode. It doesn't do anything for the full overarching story of Strange New Worlds. So I can take or leave these episodes. It's an hour well spent. I did enjoy it. It's very entertaining, but there's going to be better episodes in the season. Let's put it that way. One key thing I have to mention in this episode that was probably the highlight for me is Paul Wesley back as Captain Kirk. I know a lot of people could take or leave him as Captain Kirk. Personally, I'm a big fan. I think he's doing a great job. And I hope he continues in that role for years to come. But he gets a really cool moment in the show where you can see he's up here. His simulation character is an actor who is famous for playing a captain of a starship on a show called, I think, The Final Frontier. And it's set in the 60s, obviously. So he gets to go full Shatner. And he does. There's even some great little in-jokes there about his dictation and how he speaks. It is really good. I really enjoyed it. It was like a parody of itself, or a parody within a parody without knowing it. I don't know. It was funny. I enjoyed it. I don't know how you guys felt, but for me, it was a good laugh. They even included some